So we just had our topic for our next podcast in the studios right now before we came live, and let me give you a tip of the iceberg. On our next topic, we are going to talk about. Should I tell them?
No, let it be a surprise.
Okay, so it will be a surprise. It was an intense discussion in the studios before we came in. Today I'm live with your favorite guest, Edike and Lydia. We are going to talk about how we can create intimacy beyond the physical. How can you create emotional intimacy with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife, and other things? So that is what we are going to go straight into. Edike, the last time you made me aware you have a girlfriend. How close are you guys?
Very, very, very close.
How very?
Like
extremely very.
Extremely very. You know, I don't know if there's more, you know, close than we can get as we are now. Yeah.
Is there any word which is more extremely close than extremely close?
I don't think so, but maybe we can scale it. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how close are you?
9/10.
Okay. So where's the one?
The one I don't think I ever, you know, get a 10/10. Maybe God and Jesus Christ. Yeah. 10/10 with God and Jesus Christ. But with human being, the best you can get out of me is, you know, 9/10, and that's what we are now. Yeah.
All right. So a 9/10 for yourself and your girlfriend. Lydia, how intimate are you with your boyfriend?
We try.
You try. So like you ask the question on rating or scaling. So scale your own.
I'll say 9.
9.
Yes.
Where's your 1%? What?
It's not 9. It's
what is good for the goose? It's good for the gander.
It's actually a 10.
It's actually a 10.
Yes.
Is it because we are forcing you to say
no?
The uncertainty is causing room for doubt.
No, there's no room for doubt.
I mean, based of your reaction, I'm giving like 5/10.
Really?
Yes,
okay.
5/10. If he sees it, he knows it's 5.
Nah,
do better.
It's a 10.
Do better.
Okay.
I'm just not trying to not side with you today.
All right.
Yeah.
So now that both of you are giving me the impression of your relationship is very intimate, we are going to ask questions about how people can equally have a more intimate relationship with their spouses, with their concubines. Like Solomon had 600 and whatever, 900 whatever wives and all those things. So, Eddie, is there a clear distinction between being physically attached to someone and being emotionally attached to someone?
Yes, there's a clear distinction. Mm-hmm. Physical attraction, you know, just as the name says, is you know, it's what the eyes can see, right? I mean, I'll limit it to what the eyes can see. You look at the person and their physical traits, and their traits you desire, right? But the emotional, you know, attraction has to do with you as a person and probably how you want to, you know, be loved. Mm-hmm. Yes. I would go as far as to say as in order to, you know your emotional connection, you have to know yourself. That's key, and a lot of people do not know themselves. So you don't get that emotional attraction you want from another person, you know, actually from them. You have to know yourself and know what you want. That's when you can know what to act for, so that you be served that. But with physical, it's just, you know, something the person cannot do anything about, and they have it and you see it and, you know, you like it. That's what I can say.
Lydia, is there a clear distinction between being physically attached to someone and being emotionally attached to someone?
Yes, I think there's a distinction. Like he said, physical is just what you're seeing, but then emotional is how open you are to the person, with the person. How do you connect with the person? How do you feel when you are around the person? So physically and then emotionally, there's a clear distinction.
Okay, there's a clear distinction.
Yes.
So how then can I get physically attached to somebody? Mostly we end up limiting it to you know what I'm trying to say. Oh, you don't know? Don't you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, I think there's no more to it than that.
But you know what I'm trying to say?
I would believe so.
You believe so?
Can you read minds?
That's why I said I believe.
So most people think being physically attached to your partner has to do with sex.
Yeah.
Apart from sex, is there any other way of getting physically attached to a partner?
Definitely. There are a lot of physical activities, right? I mean, the sex that you're talking about, it's also a physical activity.
So you can't take that one out.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take that one, and in a day there are 24 hours, right? I don't think, or I don't believe a normal human being or normal human beings can have sex more than 4 hours. Yes, I stand to be corrected, right? But even let's say in an extreme case, you guys are able to, have sex, 6 hours. That leaves you with like, let's say, 17 hours more. And that is time that you can use to do a whole, other different activities. And it all has to do with physical attraction. I mean, someone would like, to cook with their partner, go and buy stuff with their partner, go to church, with their partner, doing something together, singing together. They are all physical activities and they all fall under, the physical attraction.
Okay, Lydia, he has given me some ways of being physically attached or intimate to someone. Now let's delve into why we are here today. Can you tell me some ways of being emotionally attached to your partner? Because now you are telling me there is a clear distinction.
Yes. So first of all, I believe being emotionally connected with your partner, it takes effort. You have to put in the work. Because personally with me, it wasn't easy opening up to even my friend. I can't come to you and tell you, oh, Eddie, this is what is going on with me. I feel this way, I feel that way. So it was hard for me. So I had to put in a lot of work. So it comes with one, making a decision that I want to open up with this person, to this person. I want this person to understand me. I don't want to keep things to myself. So you start with that decision and then you communicate. Communication, I believe, is like key in everything. So you communicate, you tell the person, oh, okay, first of all, I am this way. So the person gets to understand you. Okay, you're not the type to open up all the time. So maybe when you are down, when you are this, I should give you some space, I should give you some time, and then you are learning. So becoming emotionally connected with someone, there's a lot of work to put into it. But first, make a decision. Don't assume that the person is this magician or something to tell how you are feeling and what is actually going on with you. So put in the work. Try time to time to communicate how you feel, your thoughts to the person, and I think that's where it starts from.
Okay, talking about space, don't you think space is the basis for breakup? Eddie, have you ever been there and your girlfriend has ever called you, I want space? Have you ever had any message like that, or anybody?
Personally, I haven't had any message like that. But
have you heard something like that?
I've heard and I've seen instances where I want space, I need space, and the space grew infinite.
Exactly. So Lydia, now this space, is it not a reason for breakup? You want to be emotionally attached to me, or I want to be emotionally attached to you, and you think because you are having some difficulties or some challenges, your boyfriend or your husband should understand and give you space?
Well, I believe it depends on the situation at hand. I'm talking from personal experience. From even with my friends, when there's something going on with me, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want you around me. I just want to be alone. So I need my space. That was what I used to think. So I believe, fine, it has its good sides and its bad side, because being in my space made me realize how much I need them at the end of the day. So in my space, I decided that no, I can't do this alone. So being in a space is, like I said, it's your decision. It's what you think and what you want for yourself. Do you actually want to step out of your comfort zone and then communicate to these people? If yes, then you can have this reflection in your space. But if no, that is when you are in your space and then things just fall apart.
Eddie, let me go back to what we were talking about earlier. Talking about sex, right? People believe sex fosters both physical and emotional intimacy. And you, in your statement, you said you cannot do away with the sex.
Yeah.
So assuming you are with Lydia and Lydia isn't giving in to you, do you really think you can still be emotionally attached to her, or you need that as a necessity before you can foster that emotional intimacy?
Well, first of all, I'm not the one saying it, right? Sex being an important part of physical intimacy. I'm not the one saying it. It's a fact.
So who is saying it? It's a fact.
It's a fact.
No, we need your opinion right now.
Yes, I mean I'm saying on the basis that I'm
To
not saying just
reiterate
an
the fact.
opinion, but it's a fact. Understand? And unless you have a doctor's report, right, to not take salt. What is soup without salt? Right? I don't know what soup you are preparing, but if it is definitely light soup, what is the light soup without the pepper? So when you take a main ingredient out of whatever food that you are preparing, it's no longer that. It's something different. It becomes less tasty. It becomes less enjoyable. Like I said, unless you have a doctor's permit. So in this case, I don't think you can take it out and have a successful relationship. No, unless maybe one of the partner, probably the male, is not functioning.
Not a healthy
very well,
meal.
and then you have to stick with it because that is the headache you got.
It's not healthy.
Yes, it's not healthy. but as long as he or she is healthy, I don't believe you can take it out.
Lydia, what do you think? Now he's saying he doesn't believe you can foster a more emotional relationship without sex. Do you share the same ideas with him, or you have a contradicting one?
No, I don't share the same idea with
Why?
him. Well, I believe you can do away with sex in your relationship. Yes, I really believe in that. Why are you laughing?
You said you
Why?
believe.
Yes.
I don't believe. I don't know the kind of relationship you are having with your partner. But
Okay, Lydia, let's hear you.
Okay, first of all, we have our beliefs. My partner and I, we have our beliefs. We have our morals. So for that, it's asexual till we get married. That's the goal.
So you are not doing it till you
Yes.
get married.
Yes.
So my production manager just said, "Hey," which means everybody is shocked in the studio.
Wow. Why?
okay, and listening to her, right? She said something about moral values.
Uh-huh.
So she's doing that because it is morally inspired by something, which I would assume is religion, right?
Why
and,
are you
and,
not
and,
doing
and,
it
and in
before you
the context of assumption, let's just say religion wasn't a factor. Would you or would you not?
I would still not.
You would say not. Why?
Because even without religion, yes, my mom has taught me certain things that as
Because
a
of religion.
woman.
Your mom taught you that because of religion.
No,
She did.
no.
So if there's
Even before, in the olden days when there was this bragro and all that, there was nothing like religion. Was there?
there was
Are you sure?
tradition. And
I rest my
gods-
case with you. I rest my case with
So
you.
continue. You want to go asexual till you
Yes.
marry. So
It's a mutual agreement that we both have. So we just do with the emotional aspect and the physical aspect. We do hug, we hold hands. That is as far as we can get. Apart from that, that's just it. So we focus more on the emotional aspect. We have that bond, because for me, I believe the emotional aspect creates a bond between you guys, and that is where it should start from. Sex can actually be built on this emotional bond. I mean, if you guys are not bonded emotionally, how are you going to enjoy sex?
using physical attraction. That's like the basis of sex.
Well, that's for him. That is for
that's not
Eddie.
for me. That's why people end up sleeping with people they don't even love.
And is that healthy?
I mean, unless you ask them. But I mean, from the
Well,
list of
I'm in
people-
for a
hold on,
healthy
hold on,
relationship.
From the people that I know, they always look very happy. So yeah, I think I would agree. I would agree. It's very healthy.
I think after sex, sex releases endorphin or something, and that is your happy hormones and other things. You're a nurse, so you know more about this, right?
Well, like I said, it depends on. I always say this. It depends on what you and your partner want. That is what we want. That is where we've channeled our energy to. So
So your partner doesn't like sex,
it's mutual. We've agreed not to do it.
but he likes it, but he just doesn't want to do it.
It's mutual decision.
No, I want to understand. I understand the fact.
We
that,
understand that we have to keep ourselves till that day.
So you want to, but you just want to.
No,
keep
we
yourself.
don't want to.
You don't
Not
want to.
now.
Wow.
Yes.
You don't want to.
Yes.
That's serious.
That's not serious.
No, look, listen to where I'm coming from, right? I get the fact that you want to, but you shouldn't. You understand? You want to, but you shouldn't. It is there. I want to take it, but don't take it. Wait for the right time. I don't even want to take it. Do you hear
Yeah,
how that is coming over? You don't
yeah.
want to. So what
So
makes you think that?
I
Wait,
believe-
hold on. What
okay.
makes you think that when the time is right, you want to take it?
I would want to take it.
Right? The reason why they give you a time or they make you wait is because that they know you want it, but they want you to wait. But in your case, you don't even want it. So what do you think will change?
I
when the time is
understand
right?
that I don't want it now. It comes with my
Okay,
understanding.
when you marry, you're going to start to want it, both of
Yes, yes.
you. Wow.
Now,
I am learning new things today.
okay. So, Lydia, let me ask you this question. For men, and this is a fact, every man wakes up to somebody raising his head.
Okay.
In this case, I mean an erection.
Okay.
There's a fact. This is how God created us.
Are you aware?
Yes, I'm aware.
Okay.
You don't necessarily need to be thinking about a woman before you have an erection in the morning. So, which means even when you are asleep, your subconscious mind wants to take Kofi to somewhere.
Okay.
You understand? So, with your spouse, your husband, your boyfriend, and I'm sure there are a lot of people like you. How do they satisfy or cope with this urge to be somewhere which they are being denied access to? It's just like you coming to work, you swipe your card, and your card fails you.
Well, I think, like I said, we understand why we are keeping ourselves. So once you have the understanding, whether it's up or it's down or you have the edge, you have control over it.
Lydia, you see,
I am
hungry.
question. I have a question, right?
Okay.
You're saying that you understand why you're doing it. I haven't even asked you what is the end game, right?
Should we delve into that?
Yeah,
because it's on religious basis.
It's on religious
Yes.
basis. So what is the end game? Yeah.
So-
What is religion telling you that you are going to get from it, or
So we know we are not supposed to fornicate, no adultery and all that.
why?
Should we delve into it?
No, it's
Are you
just
ready
why.
for
It's just
that?
why. Yeah, I am.
Okay,
why.
let's just say, simply put, it's not good for your spirit.
your
Okay.
experience.
Your
Your spirit,
spirit,
you want to
spirit.
grow spiritually.
Okay.
Yes, so personally, as a believer, I want to grow spiritually.
Okay.
So I know there are certain. It's just like they say busuma personal or no, it's not. I don't. There's a chi or chone chiwadia or something. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. So mehu echiwadia enya se medical my spirit. So I'm not taking it.
So when your spirit grows, and as your spirit is growing, what is the benefit? How in what way are you benefiting from it? So that the viewers, our viewers out there, and me myself will start.
Well,
learning from
when
it.
your spirit, you are growing, you are getting closer to God. That is the end game. You are getting closer to, you're having this intimate relationship with God, your creator, and that is part of our purpose.
Okay, so let me not make this whole discussion about Lydia, but I have one final question for you.
Okay.
Your reason or the basis is based on religion.
Yes.
All right. And we all know God is omniscient, just as we were discussing earlier on.
Yeah.
So God is all knowing. Fine. There have been instances where women marry men whom after the marriage they end up finding out these men are not potent. And I'm sure if you speak to most married women who go out there to fornicate, some of the reasons or the main reason why most of them fornicate is I don't know.
Sometimes it's even too big.
Yes.
Yes, I mean
They can't cope.
yes.
So
So
at
what
this
is
point,
your solution to that?
if you end up finding yourself in a situation like that, I'm not saying you are going to find yourself in a situation like that,
Okay.
but assuming, put yourself in the shoes of all the ladies who keep you before they marry. If you find yourself in a situation like that, is it God who made the mistake? That is, I am putting it as a
Okay.
mistake because
You did it for
not
God.
know.
You did it
didn't
for
know.
God.
Yes, you did it for God. But now you find yourself in a situation where the thing is not working. The thing is too big, like he said. The thing is too small. What happens?
Well, from that aspect, as a believer, I understand that the Bible tells me everything works together for my good. So no matter what, I'm okay.
So it is
'Cause
for
I
your
have-
good. That's why the thing is not working.
It is that is my starting point. Do you get me? So I start from there. I believe that everything works for my good. So we talk. What can we do about it?
Nothing.
What do you mean that there's
There
definitely
are a
something
lot
we
of people who
can
have
do?
seen the physicians, the doctors, all those people,
It
and
didn't work.
still, Enyajuma.
Well, like I said, so there was a movie I watched, okay,
Okay.
and then the lady, she was a believer, and then both of them, like her husband and then herself, they were believers, and then they were praying for a baby, and they had I think 6 miscarriages also. So from the movie, to cut everything short, the woman had to put her faith to work, and that there was something she had to do to activate that. So like I said, everything works together for my good. That's what my Bible tells me, and I believe in that. So if I happen to be in a situation or a marriage where my husband is not sexually active, or is too small, or is not working. First of all, how did I even get there? Was it the will of God for my life, or did I just follow my emotions and I got into that relationship?
So if I understand you, it means God is not going to let you fall into a situation like that. If it is his will.
Yeah. That's
If
what
it
she's
is
saying.
his will that I should fall into that situation, then his glory will be manifested. Yes.
Wow.
He's God, but that was what I was telling him before the beginning of the podcast. He is God by himself. So you don't know, maybe I'm supposed to be in that situation so that I can tell the other women who find themselves in that situation that that is not the end of the world. We have a lot. You were talking about abortion earlier. I was telling you to give birth. Who knows? I'm not supposed to give birth, or my husband is not supposed to function actively. So we don't give birth, and then I adopt your baby that you want to kill. So
Okay,
everything is for God's
Lydia, it's
glory.
okay, let's pause it there. You are delving into our next discussion. Now you just said our viewers about
Oh,
what our
I'm
next
so
topic is
sorry.
even going to be about. So let's come back to emotional intimacy. I think in as much as we are enjoying ourselves with this conversation, we are just not going so much to it. Okay, so now Lydia, this question is to you. Emotionally, you have given us some ways which you can bond more with your partner.
Yeah.
But I think in all the statements you made, it was based on communication. Aside communication, is there no different means through which you can create a bond which is beyond the physical with your partner? Or it's solely based on, if you want to create emotional connection, it's solely based on communication?
Well, I wouldn't say it's solely based on communication, but like I said earlier, that is where you start from. So as you guys get along, you have to also incorporate trust, loyalty. You have to stay committed to it. Like I said, it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of work, because telling somebody that, oh, I did this, or even your darkest deep secrets, having the courage to tell someone just because they're your partner is not easy. Even just because the person is your mom is not easy. So there's a lot of effort, but then it's all through communication, and they have to trust that as I'm telling this person, I am creating this environment where the person is not going to judge me. The person, I'll still feel myself with that person. And of course, you just can't tell anybody certain information. So you have to how do I call it? Observe, learn. Who am I going to open up with? So that is where you are still in your space. But once you're in your space and then you feel like, oh, everybody's going to betray me, I still want to be this way, then that is not going to work for you. You're not going to connect emotionally with anybody at all. But once you're in your space and then you are, oh, okay, I want to open up to Awuchi, so you start to get close to Awuchi. You know how Awuchi talks, you know how he does certain things, and then you know that, okay, I've come to a point where I believe I can talk to Awuchi about this issue. I can communicate, I can trust him, I can stay committed to this emotional bond I want to have with Awuchi. So that is what I believe.
Eddie, are you going to be conversant, having a conversation with your partner about your darkest secrets, just as she said?
As a man, I think there are some secrets you should be capable of not sharing for the rest of your life.
Wow.
Yes, that is what I believe. That no matter what, no matter the circumstance, as a man, if truly, that is what you would call it as your deepest and your darkest secret, you should take it to your grave. You should entrust no human being with such information, because things happen and people change. Simple as that.
Then that means you don't trust the person you're going to open up to.
It's not a matter of trust. It's doing what is right. As much as I trust you, I also love you. So
Okay.
I love you enough to protect you from this weight.
I think I would only agree with
that
you
is what
if
dark
your
secrets are.
I think
They
I
have
would only
made it.
agree with him if your deep darkest secrets will not affect you guys in any way, not in this early moments, not in the future.
Do you believe that if it wouldn't affect you, it would have been deep and dark and a secret?
So you have to let it out.
That's what I'm saying. That if it wouldn't
So
affect
it doesn't.
you, it wouldn't
So
be
once
dark
there will
and it
be
wouldn't be
like,
secret.
so once it's going to affect you guys, then you have to let it out.
No,
Yes.
I won't.
So let's
And
use
it's
this.
not because I don't trust you. It is like I said to even protect you, because I love
How
you so
are you
much.
protecting the person if it's going to affect you guys later?
But I'm not telling you.
So once the it starts affecting you
Listen,
guys, how
listen,
do you handle it?
you were okay when you didn't know. Your life is going to, our lives, right, is going to be a mess when you find out. So what benefit am I getting from telling you and messing up both of our lives or our relationship?
So I understand you from
When
that
everything would have
perspective.
been rainbow colors and bliss if I had just kept my mouth shut.
So I'm asking you. So right now you kept your mouth shut,
Yes.
but you've started seeing the aftermath of you keeping your mouth shut and not letting her know.
She will never know. Nothing will happen.
So that's what I said. As long as it's not going to affect you,
Yes.
whatever the secret is, it's not going to affect your relationship, your partner, then maybe you can keep it to your grave. But if you know it's going to affect you, then I think you should let it out.
Well, me, I'll hold on to it as long as.
Because I always use this Sarkodie and Tracy and then Yvonne Nelson issue when the book came out.
Yeah.
We didn't know that there had been such an issue between Yvonne Nelson and then Sarkodie. So I used to ask myself, did Tracy know about this? And then I was like, okay, if she knew about it back then, if Sarkodie was bold enough to tell her, she wouldn't be affected because she knows. But if it came as a blow to her like all of us, then there would be a problem.
Well,
What if
I
it
am
happened
Sarkodie?
before, like Sarkodie got with Tracy?
You still have to let her know.
Why?
Because like I said, once it came out, it's a blow to her. So how is she going to handle
Everybody
it?
has a past.
I mean, if I was Sarkodie,
So like I said,
I
you have
won't
to
tell
trust
her.
your partner
And
enough.
later on, years as it happened and it came out, then our love has something to fight for. Our love can't be lazy like that. It has to fight. So now I have something to fight for.
Lydia,
Yes, that's how you see
Lydia,
it.
you said deep, darkest secret. It's called a secret for a reason. What is the meaning of secret?
Okay, I think a secret is something you keep hidden.
Exactly. So the moment I open up to tell you, it's no longer a secret.
But once you open up to tell me, that is how our bond is actually growing. I have to be appreciative of the fact that you've been able to gather courage, trust in me enough to tell me your deep, darkest secret.
Lydia, you are my girlfriend. Now you've already told me you are never going to do anything with me till we get married. I love you because I've seen certain characteristics in you that I feel my kids would need these traits. And you are the best person to train my children growing up. So I don't want to lose you. But I'm a man. Like I said earlier on, I wake up to Kofi Oboni Trinko. In my weakest point, I see this lady who just as Eve said the serpent did to her. Wadada no. Ena wabie bibi so akere me. Ena Kofi akwa ama ho. Now I feel so ashamed that if I should tell you, you would not trust me again, or you would not want to be in a relationship with me again. But I know so well, say, nipa na mene koye bibi no. You don't have any path with her. Under no circumstance are you going to know. Why should I tell you?
Well, like I said, honestly speaking, I understand where you're coming from. If you know it's not going to affect you guys in any way, please, I beg, keep your secret.
The only
But then, the funny thing is,
person who can know something would come back to hunt them in future is God, because He is the only omniscient person.
exactly,
We are not omniscient.
exactly. So why don't you
We are
just
not
tell the
all-knowing.
person?
It's a
'Cause you don't-
secret.
Until we know then
Into one kana asama banon sonya den.
we deal with it.
So why don't you tell the person, you deal with it now, so that when it comes, you
When
are
it-
prepared. Why do we give vaccines?
When it happens like that, I'm creating a problem ahead of time.
No, you're actually preparing yourself ahead of time.
But what if yesterday I saw a book
What
on the
if the problem
Telus
comes?
table? So tough times do last. So when the problems come, we solve it. So according to Tracy, what's the example? No, say, are they still having issues?
But how do we? If you are not owning from the start, so any one because not owning. So
Then you know,
I
what do we
Right.
do? It will mean now, some number. We join me,
Talking about secrets, right? we all have workplaces.
Uh-huh.
I am with my partner. Everything is cool and fine. But for some reason, let's say this female colleague of mine, is starting to like me, and I'm seeing the signs and symptoms. So she started preparing food for me. She's talking with me nicely, and I am trying to. I've made her understand. I have a girlfriend. I have a wife. I don't want to do this. Blah blah blah. And I've not told my wife, right? Because now, if I tell you when I'm going to work, you are going to be worried.
Obeba you more cry. Obeba.
Right.
Okay.
So am I sparing you by not telling you, or I'm doing more harm by not telling
I also
you?
have a question for you.
Yeah.
Well, after you told the lady that, I have a wife, I have a girlfriend,
Yeah.
are you still accepting or entertaining her in quotes?
Ah, no be the Johnny bro uni.
Exactly. And see, you're also telling her that you don't really mean what you said.
Lydia,
In a way, yes.
so assuming an uba no, then Eddie or myself, you're too able to me a dash woman.
Yes.
Are you not going to take it?
So what's the intention?
Oh no. How do you know my intention?
But he made it clear that the person likes him.
Yes, and I've told her
So, okay.
I have a partner.
Yes.
So I'm not interested in any relationship. Then the person is like, oh, it's harmless.
Yes.
Don't worry. You are my friend.
Okay, so if it's just friendship, then tell your wife, oh, I have a
Hey.
friend at work. Yes. Is that harmless? Tell your wife.
You think your man will be
It's-
okay when
it's just
a
blunt.
friend gives you an iPhone 14
Exactly.
Pro?
So that is where you know the intentions are not true. So you have to do something to stop it.
All right,
what?
Eddie, what stuff or what are some of the things you do to emotionally bond with your woman? You already told us about the physical stuff you do. Aside the physical stuff,
like I said before, the emotional connection has to do with you knowing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the best way you can be loved emotionally is if the person knows what you want and what you do not want. So you have to start off by knowing yourself, which unfortunately most people do not know. Most people don't know themselves, but they think they do. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they do not want, but they think they do. So they get found out that there are some petty things that they don't even like, but they've not assessed themselves enough to be able to know it. So they are just living with their partner, and their partner will like do those things, whether consciously or subconsciously, and it's affecting the relationship. But you can't point it out because you've not assessed yourself, enough. And when you know yourself and you know the things you want, you're able to tell your partner. Let's say when I'm angry, like you said, I want to be by myself for a while. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. And your partner is able to do those things. So when your partner is absent, you get miss those things because they are not providing those things that you need from them emotionally again. And that is what I think will foster a really, really healthy emotional attraction. So first off, know yourself in order to be able to inform your partner to be able to love you the way you want to be loved. That is what I think the emotional aspect has to do with the physical part is loving them for who they are physically, and the emotional is somewhat them loving you the way you want to be loved by you telling them how you want to be loved, and you do that for them too.
all right, Lydia, between people who have their boyfriends or their husbands like at a distance, that's people who are in long distance relationship, and people who get to see their partners every day, which of these two people do you think are well emotionally bonded?
That's a tough one. I would say the people who are distant,
Why?
because it's like we say absence makes the heart grow fonder. So they put in a lot of work to make sure that they don't feel the distance. They don't feel like you are away from me. Personally, I went home recently and then I had that experience. I didn't want to feel like no one is around. Like, so we were constantly
Like
In-
constant.
yes. So I believe it's the people who are not together, because you just know that you have to do something to make up for your absence. So it makes you go the extra mile. It makes you do things. If the more, let me just put it that way.
All right, this is where I bring in my follow-up question. So I think last year we had a podcast where we were talking about overly possessive boyfriends, right? And the ladies who were in the studios were making it seem like when your boyfriend is constantly calling you, constantly checking up on you and all those things, the boyfriend is overly possessive. But here we are today, because you are distance apart, now you see that as care. But senka ebia edino wote ha no ena anopa edia fro ewia edia fro edi constantly checking up on you. You be like, me cry me boy no de bia na dia ni say me chiti and say is it women who don't really know what they want or what they have, and now say Moana nkasa no, I don't know.
No, I won't say that. I'll just say it's life and the lessons we learn every day. Because in Penny Focus say I dare ben wa so share until it's far away from you. So it's just human nature. Once the thing is always close to you, you feel like you become familiarized with it. You don't see the value. But when it's a bit away, when you don't get access to it like you used to, that is when you start to miss it. That is when you start to understand and appreciate why the thing was with you. So I'll just generally say it's human nature. And yeah, suban.
Human nature.
And the lessons that life teaches us
Eddie,
every day.
Do you think it's human nature or a masubai?
Masubai.
A masubai.
Oh, definitely you say a suban.
It's true.
And yeah, suban.
I mean, he's too much. He's too little. He's too much. Pick a side. Pick a side and just stick with it.
And yeah, suban. Eddie, it is life and the lessons we learn every day.
Life and the lessons we learn every day.
We never stop learning as humans. We never stop learning. You can't tell me you've learned all the lessons in the world.
Do everything. We be I know where JB.
So you do the best you can.
But you guys never get your best.
We do, please.
Okay, Eddie.
Yes.
Now, your final words to our viewers who want to bond emotionally with their partners. How can they do that and achieve your 9/10 you spoke about?
Well, communication is always important, and also the things you do when they are not around, right? It's also very important, because how you behave around your friends, how you behave around, because the world is a small world and you don't know how she might know someone that's acquainted to you. But it's always nice for you to, for your partner to go somewhere and be talking to a lady friend and be like, oh, this guy is, it's my man. Oh, I didn't know that last time, he was here, he was talking to, other girls, other guys. The way he behaved, he made everyone aware that, he has a partner. I wish, my partner was like that. Those gestures, away from home, really, really count. Even though it's not all of them that they will be aware of, but when they do, find out of these things, it fosters, the relationship. It renews, their love for you and their trust for you, that even though you are away, you are still being a gentleman and stuff like that. So communication and behave when you are away from each other, because you don't know when or how any of you might probably, end up.
Okay, Lydia, your final words.
So I would say, like Eddie said, know yourself. Love yourself first. Be able to bond with yourself to a certain level, and then communicate to your partner. Sometimes you want to be loved in a way, and then your partner doesn't even know. Your partner just thinks, oh, probably I'm buying you chocolates because you love them, is how I'm loving you, and then you feel like, okay, I'm being loved. But maybe you just want some quality time with him. You just want just a good morning text with this lovely message. So just communicate, like he said. Tell him how you want to be loved, and you just have to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, you can't tell him, oh, because I'd like if you do this for me. So know yourself, and then, like I always say, there's no pressure. So take your time, know yourself, communicate, and then value it. Don't think or as for, I don't know, some people just see it as a waste of time, it's too tiring. No, it's never too tiring. Like he said, you don't know where your partner is going to be, and then he's going to heal you, or you're going to heal your partner. So appreciate it, and appreciate the little effort that your partner is putting in.
All right, so the pillar of being emotionally attached, or increasing your emotional connection, bond with your partner, has to do with communication, getting to know yourself, and not pressurizing yourself. So these are the pillars which each and every one of our viewers, you require to ensure that your relationship will be a 9/10 or a 10/10. Now, viewers, I am just going to admonish you, you don't have to miss our next episode, because Lydia is already laughing. That is intense. That would leave you to drop a jaw. We out.